What happened was a full-blown soap opera come to life, the kind of messy, chaotic, and downright unbelievable showdown that reality TV writers could never come up with if they tried. It was part scandal, part humiliation, part social media circus, and it left fans asking one big question. Did we just watch Tony Rich's reputation, career, and relationship evaporate in real time? At the center of it all, we have three players in this twisted saga. Papoose, a man known for loyalty, respect, and that timeless Brooklyn aura. Claressa Shields, one of the most accomplished female boxers of all time, suddenly caught in the crossfire of scandal, and Tony Rich, her fiancé, who decided that chasing clout in public was worth the risk, and ended up paying the highest price. What started as whispers online became a viral cultural moment, and now it's time to break it all down piece by piece. Let's set the stage. Atlanta, a city known for nightlife, music, culture, and of course, drama. But on this night, Atlanta turned into a battlefield. Not one with fists and punches, but with egos, words, and a sharp sting of humiliation. The encounter was anything but casual. Eyewitnesses said it looked like WrestleMania, except with bad lighting, no ring, and a crowd that doubled as unpaid camera crews for Instagram and TikTok. The story starts with Papoose and Tony Rich crossing paths in what should have been a simple, uneventful moment. Instead, it exploded into chaos. The second Tony decided to confront Papoose, the energy in the room changed. People pulled out their phones like soldiers drawing weapons. Security stiffened, sensing what was about to unfold. Even bartenders stopped pouring drinks because everyone knew they were about to witness something unforgettable. And here's the kicker. Papoose didn't even have to swing. He didn't throw a single punch. Instead, he used his presence, his composure, and his words. Witnesses swear he looked Tony right in the eye and delivered a line that instantly burned itself into internet history. "Man, you ain't even her first mistake." The crowd erupted. Phones shook as people screamed. Within minutes, that one line went viral, blasting across Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Meme pages plastered it everywhere. People edited the clip into remixes, reaction videos, and GIS. Hashtags exploded, with hashtag #HerFirstMistake trending across Atlanta like it was a national holiday. In that one moment, Tony Rich wasn't just embarrassed. He was roasted, ridiculed, and turned into the butt of a global joke. But the humiliation didn't stop there. Tony, already red-faced and shaken, tried to recover. Eyewitnesses said he lunged forward, shouting something about being Claressa's real man. It was desperate, it was loud, and it was messy. But Papoose, he barely even moved. Calm, collected, and unbothered, he sidestepped Tony like he was avoiding a puddle on the sidewalk. Tony stumbled, crashing into a table and sending drinks flying everywhere. People screamed, chairs scraped, and somewhere in the chaos, someone yelled the two words that have come to define viral public fights: world star. And just when Tony thought the embarrassment couldn't get worse, Papoose delivered another verbal knockout. With the calmness of a man who knows he doesn't even have to raise his voice, he said, "You keep fighting for her spotlight. I keep shining in mine." Another crowd eruption, another viral clip, another meme explosion. TikTok edits spliced his words with slow-motion footage of Tony stumbling into the table. One video paired it with dramatic music, another with laugh tracks. Within hours, hashtag Shining in Mine hit millions of views, cementing Papoose as not just the winner of the encounter, but the undisputed king of composure. Now here's where things get even messier, because the fight wasn't just about what happened in public. It triggered a wave of gossip, leaks, and digital detective work that turned Tony Rich from a local name into an international clown meme. Screenshots began surfacing of Tony bragging in DMs before the fight, saying things like, "Watch what happens when I see him in public. Cameras are gonna love me." The internet immediately dragged him. Not only did he fail at making himself look tough, but his own words came back to haunt him. Instead of looking like a boss, he looked like a man who scripted his own downfall. But it didn't end there. Gossip blogs began digging deeper into Tony's life, and what they found was devastating. Allegations surfaced that he had been spending Claressa's money recklessly, using her business accounts to fund what looked a lot less like business trips and a lot more like Vegas champagne parties and luxury getaways. The receipts, the screenshots, the credit card statements, all of it began to circulate online. Fans dragged him mercilessly. One viral tweet read, "Tony Rich? More like Tony Broke." Another said, Imagine humiliating yourself in public and then getting exposed as a financial parasite. In the court of public opinion, Toni wasn't just embarrassed anymore. He was done. And then came Clarissa, or rather, her silence. Throughout the entire storm, she stayed quiet. No Instagram stories defending Toni. No statements backing him up. Nothing. And in the world of celebrity gossip, silence often speaks louder than words. Fans and blogs instantly began speculating that Clarissa was distancing herself, watching her fiancé's reputation burn while she stayed far away from the flames. Eventually, she did post, but it wasn't what Toni needed. Instead, Clarissa uploaded a carefully curated Instagram carousel. Glossy photos, strong poses, and captions that felt less like a statement of solidarity and more like a declaration of independence. Phrases like protect your peace, build your empire, cut off dead weight. Fans didn't even need context. They swarmed the comments section, interpreting every word as a dagger aimed straight at Toni. One top comment summed it up perfectly. Sis didn't just cut ties. She threw the whole rope away. For Toni, the silence from Clarissa was louder than any words Papoose could have said. It wasn't just a fight anymore. It was the unraveling of his relationship. And collapse it did. In the weeks that followed, Toni Rich's world came crashing down. Business partners distanced themselves, pulling out of deals. Promoters stopped returning calls. Even casual acquaintances quietly unfollowed him on social media, trying to avoid the fallout. His brand was toxic, and nobody wanted to be associated with the man who got clowned by Papoose in public and then exposed as financially reckless. Toni tried to fight back. He posted vague Instagram stories, black screens with white text that said things like, "Y'all don't know the truth." But nobody was buying it. The memes kept coming, the hashtags kept trending, and the internet made sure his attempts at sympathy were drowned out by laughter. And then came the rumors, lawsuits, hidden scandals, alleged secret children. One viral thread mapped out Toni's supposed baby mama universe, like it was the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Whether it was true or not didn't even matter at this point. The damage was done. His reputation was already in ashes. Meanwhile, Papoose thrived. Posting photos captioned, "Peace is priceless," he was celebrated as the model of composure, the man who won the fight without throwing a single punch. His reputation skyrocketed while Toni's reputation burned. And so we arrive at the bigger picture. What started as a fight became something much larger. It became a cultural moment, a digital spectacle, and a cautionary tale about clout chasing gone wrong. Toni Rich wanted attention. He wanted relevance. He wanted the cameras on him. And he got exactly what he asked for, but in the worst possible way. Instead of looking powerful, he looked powerless. Instead of looking respected, he looked desperate. Instead of standing tall beside Clarissa, he crumbled under the weight of his own ego. Clarissa, meanwhile, came out looking stronger than ever, composed, focused, and ready to cut off the dead weight holding her back. And Papoose. He walked away untouchable, crowned by fans as the king of calm, the man who turned 2 sentences into internet history. But if gossip blogs are to be believed, this isn't the end. Rumors of lawsuits, deeper financial scandals, and new betrayals suggest Act 2 is already in motion. And if there's one thing the internet has taught us, it's that in the twisted world of love, betrayal, and reality TV-level chaos, the next headline is always already being written. So now I want to hear from you. Was this truly the end of Toni Rich's career, or is this just the beginning of an even bigger disaster? Was Papoose's handling of the situation the ultimate masterclass in composure, or do you think Toni will somehow find a way to bounce back? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the breakdown, and don't forget to subscribe because trust me, this saga is far from over. Atlanta never sleeps, and neither does the drama.